Hello, and thank you for tuning in. We're here to demo the capabilities of Vendia CRM Share, built on the power of the Vendia Share platform. With Vendia CRM Data Share, we're going to show the capability for real-time data sharing that is multi-directional and across multiple Salesforce orgs. Any number of companies and or Salesforce orgs can have their data synced real-time with control by leveraging the power of the Vendia platform. So why might this be important? Well, if there's a business network in which you might co-sell with, for example, a vendor and implementation partner, or a recent acquisition that you want to more effectively cross-sell into the new customer base. Regardless of the heterogeneous nature of these companies, Vendia lets you share data real-time across these networks, and this infrastructure can be set up in days, not months. To demonstrate the opportunities with Vendia CRM Share, we're going to focus on a few aspects. The first is sharing data multi-directionally to and from each company. The next is account field syncing, demonstrating a straightforward mapping. Then sharing with control, adding specification of which company can see which data. Now, as much as we long for out-of-the-box implementations, we all know Salesforce environments are often customized, no matter how much we hope to avoid that. So we'll get real and show the capability to sync across custom and standard objects and their child objects. Lastly, we'll show the capability to also sync files or documents because it's not just data we want to share. So, some quick context. We'll have 3 separate organizations, CloudKix, Northern Trail, and Universal Containers, all with 3 distinct Salesforce orgs. Imagine each of these sit in the walls of their respective companies, each with distinct Salesforce development teams, distinct sales processes, and distinct integrated systems behind them. The capability to sync data across them, yes, all of them, can be set up in 5 days, not 5 months. So let's get to it. Over here on the left, we have CloudKix. On the bottom left, we have Universal Containers. And on the right, we have Northern Trail. So what we'll do first is we're going to change the AE and analyst roles from the standard Alpha Vendia user to a defined user. We'll change this over here to Arthur Adams. And what you'll see is in Northern Trail and Universal Containers, the AE and analysts will remain the same, but the account teams will actually change. This then allows us to control and maintain the AE and analyst roles in their respective environments, but still see the information come through. And you can see Arthur Adams already came through in here where Charlie and Bravo were actually in the roles themselves. So now let's have some fun with the custom sales activity and the standard task. Both CloudKix and Universal Containers use a custom sales activity object, where Northern Trail uses the out-of-the-box task object. So here we'll add a activity, awesome call with CloudKix. Let's say that happened today. It was an email, it was in person, and we'll use this is compliant as another level of control to say if something should or shouldn't be shared. And this we'll share with all of the companies in our network. Now let's create another activity, and we're going to call this one Secret Call with CloudKix. This also happened today. And this was an executive meeting in person. We'll leverage that is compliant, and we're only going to share that with Northern Trail. We're not ready to share that with Universal Containers yet. So you can see we have both of these activities in the custom sales activity object. And what we'll see come through is this should come to the custom sales activity here and the out-of-the-box task. So let's refresh our screen. And as expected, we see this come through to the custom sales activity object and over here to the out-of-the-box task object. Similarly, sharing with control, we see both of the activities because we opted to share both of these with Northern Trail, where here we see only the awesome call because we opted to share only that one with all of them, but we didn't share the secret call with Universal Containers. So we demonstrated data going from CloudKix to the different organizations, but let's show that whole multi-directional sharing. So over here on the secret call, let's add a file. In it, let's share the presentation that we intend to show. Similarly, on Awesome Call, since everyone is on this one, let's share the NDA that everyone has agreed to sign. So what we just did is on the custom sales activity object, on this child object, we added a file. On the secret call, we added a file similarly on the standard task. In it, we expect the information from the secret call to flow over to CloudKix, and we expect the information on the awesome call to flow over to all parties. So let's go back to our account list. And let's first open the secret call. And in it, we see the presentation that Northern Trail intended to share. Now let's go back and see the awesome call. And in it, we see the NDA that Universal Container shared. Similarly, if we go here, we see the NDA on that page as well. Let's quickly go under the hood and see what happened. This is the power of the Vendia platform through which all the data is shared. And so we can see all the transactions. If we open up one of them, we can see the actual data that was edited and who we intended to share it with. The Alpha Bravo Charlie represents each of the respective organizations that we just did: CloudKix, Universal Container, and Northern Trail. If we navigate over here to one of these nodes, this also demonstrates a little bit of the art of the possible, in which you can leverage the GraphQL API to integrate this sales data within the rest of your technical landscape. It has a distributed ledger providing a full immutable history of any change made by any party. And with that, the demo is complete. If you want to learn more, please reach out, as we'd love to build a demo tailored to your environment. Thank you very much.